Hey guys, welcome back or welcome to my channel. I'm Jake and this is Albie, and we're getting into part 2 of making the first spec ad. So in this part, we're going to be going over what types of shots that I want to get in the video, as well as starting to shoot some of them and explaining the different formats that I'm going to be recording in for the editing process later on. So I explained in the last part that I've got to create a storyboard for the different types of shots that I want. Now we're going to be starting off with a couple bedroom shots that then move into some driving adventure shots and some like hotel shots to sort of show locations. So with all that being said, let's get into some of the first shots and I'll explain as I'm going. Okay, so I've now switched over to my phone and here's the camera. Let's flip it around and I'll show you the types of settings that I'm going to be doing. Okay, so in the photo style, we're going to be shooting in Vlog. So that's pretty standard. We're going to have movie. We're going to have open gate. We're going to, for now, turn off the subject detection. I have some frames on. Since this is mostly on a tripod, the stabilization can be off, luminance off, grid is on, peak is on, and I also have a histogram up here. I'm not going to worry about the color spectrum that you can also have. I'm just going to expose this slightly to the right of center, and that usually gets me out of a lot of trouble when I'm just filming for myself. The other thing that's going to be sort of important for this is I don't have a whole lot of studio lights. I'm not going to want to set up a lot of studio lights, so I'm going to be using as much natural light as possible, with slight bits of unnatural light or artificial light coming in as well. So one of my big proponents for this will be this LED bar. For this room specifically, I have a light there that I'll turn on and see if it does much, but there's not a lot of lumens in this light. So I turn that on and it does basically nothing. So let's turn it back off. So I have the light bar, I have the bag, I have some packing cubes from not Coda Packs, but I think it'll be fine. I'll just hide the labels. I might even try and fill them in when I'm editing. And then I have piles of clothes minus actual mess and a suit, as I also want to show this for people that are busy in terms of business. So let's get into the first shot. I'm going to put you over with Albie while I set up the first shot, and then I can explain stuff as I go, and you'll see raw footage of stuff kind of after I've shot it. One of the things is these can all be used later in the video as well to sort of create a realm of realistic interpretation where this stuff is actually being used and you can see it being used. So ideally I would have more products from them. I'd have their pants, their shirts, their stuff, but I don't. So this is the best we're going to have to do, because then I can sort of add in these. Now, they have their own packing cubes. Again, ideally, you'd have their packing cubes, but I don't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to toss these on, and it will jump cut each one with items in that specifically done. So this one is tended for socks and underwear. So there will be some socks and underwear on top, just to make sure I fill out with some of the ones that I already have here on the bed. Check that. I might do it again. And this is something, just checking your shots, making sure that, okay, my arm was in the video. So what I might do is throw from down here, because then when I fill it with stuff, it will have a similar motion. So I'll do a couple attempts. My hand was in the video, so come back a bit further. Hand was in the video. That was good. I'll do one more. and then I'll have a look at the footage. That one was pretty good. So then I'll transition. I'll have to land it a similar spot, but I won't make you watch all of that. Here is sort of the final unedited version of this shot. Okay, so that transition's done. Now what I'm going to move on to is the stop motion, or attempt at stop motion. Change my mind. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stand over there, hide myself, and try and get the shot that way. Make sure it's recording, because I have a feeling I'm going to get this right once, and only once. That was pretty close. You guys couldn't see that, but I was hiding down under the bed, and I flicked up with my hands. So let's see if that worked. Because if not, I'm going to have to do it again. I might give it one more take as a just in case. See if I can. So one more time, let's take the hat off. Yep. Sweet. Did it. So one of the shots, I'll explain some of the shots now, as I'm not going to be able to explain them maybe later on when I'm actually doing them. So we have a car shot, then we have some behind the head driving shots. I'm going to have to set that up on maybe a little country road or something like that, just so I'm not breaking any laws. Of pulling it out of the car and putting it in the hotel room. That'll be the last set of like room shots, and then we'll move on to other things like going out taking photos, being a businessman, which I might get some friends involved, everyday stuff, being a creative, being all that, because that's what I want to showcase in this video. And then the ending shot is going to have to kind of be recorded in all places. It's going to, again, be a match cut sort of zoom in. So we will work on that throughout the whole shoot. But everything is being still recorded into here. And here is that final shot after the animation. Okay, so we've done most of the shots now that require in-room stuff, maybe a little bit of car shots and all that. We have one more shot to get when I'm down in Melbourne in a hotel. But other than that, that's basically all the room shots. So in the next video, we're going to be going more into the outdoors, showing the adventure side of these products. So we've got the hat, the sling, which is up over there, and we got the bag, which we basically got all the shots for the bag. Within that last shot you saw, as I pull the bag away, you're going to see the logo. I'm going to edit that in the final thing. All of these shots that you've seen, as you can tell, uncolor graded, basically no real editing done to them, and no sound effects or anything added as well. All of this will be done in the editing part, and hopefully we only have two more parts left of this, the outdoor part and the editing, and then you'll get to see the final spec ad. So if you are enjoying this series, drop a like, drop a follow, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Until next time, see ya.